My sister died and I'm left with her baby. I'm 19, and living in London, attending university, studying medicine. I'm about to start my second year of med. My sister passed away midway through my first year and my parents have been taking care of my niece. My niece is only 15 months old. My father suffers from hearing loss and finds it hard to take care of her without the presence of my mom. For around the past 2 years, my mom has been going to the hospital around 3 to 4 days a week for these treatments while she waits on the transplant list for a kidney replacement. So most days everything is fine for him, but sometimes get very agitated and distressed. Last week, my parents told me to try and get home earlier. When I came home to both my parents sitting in the living room with serious faces, I was scared. They ended up both breaking down and telling me that raising the baby was just too much for them and that the stress of the baby was too much for even my mom and it was affecting her blood pressure, which in turn would start to affect her treatments. They said that they have been thinking about it and think that I would be the best option. They began saying things like I could take a break and restart at a later year and it's the sacrifice I have to make for my family, etc. And whilst I understand what they mean, I don't agree. And I can't just leave everything and raise a child. It makes me feel sick even typing this because I sound so selfish. But how could I even begin raising a child when I barely remember to even eat meals myself? Some days I study from home at a time and forget to even have a meal. So how could I now remember to feed a child? Another point that I just can't let go is the fact that I would have to stop my studies. I've worked hard to be where I am. I felt so conflicted and torn, and I tried to express this as best as I could, and they eventually let it go and said that they would try and do their best with my help. I just feel so guilty. My father used to suffer from severe depression when I was growing up because of his alcohol addiction. When he quit and became sober for me and my sister, he really struggled, and a lot of the time the smallest things used to really tick him off. Now he gets easily stressed. So when my niece is fussy and cries a lot, he gets very stressed out. Most of the time he can't hear her crying, he can't understand when something is wrong or what exactly she is crying for because he can't hear the cry anymore. Yesterday, my father asked to speak to me. And when he did, my heart really broke. He opened up about the difficulties he has been going through because of his hearing loss and how it has been really affecting him during the time he has spent with my niece. He told me about how when me and my sister were babies, he was able to understand us so much better and even be able to identify the different types of cries and when it was that we needed milk or food or when we needed our diapers changed. He explained how now he struggles with understanding her because he can't even hear her cry. And I felt bad for him. He began to break down into tears, and I broke down with him. We both cried. And when my mom was at the door, he quickly put himself together and apologized for crying. He apologized for crying. He told me it's fine and he is just being dramatic and to not get upset, and then left the room and then signed I love you before he left. I've been sitting here for the past 3 hours just at a loss of words. I want to continue to cry my heart out, but the tears stopped coming 2 hours ago. I just feel numb. I feel lost. I know deep within that raising a baby is just too much for my parents. And I know that I can't balance med school with raising a child. So what other option do we have other than giving away the baby for adoption? So am I really a horrible person if I refuse to raise her?